You finally got to see that? That's an amazing movie. Ooh, that would not be good. Nope. In a matter of moment here, that's actually probably a good thing. But everybody should be audible now.
Okay.
Hola.
Always got to be some kind of
Oh
sound
yeah, I
issue.
can hear myself.
Nope, I didn't hear myself yodeling. Oh wait, there, Camden. You're quiet though.
Orange.
Let's see. Let me turn off.
Damn, I love this job.
I think we've just piqued interest.
A whole set of sound effects. This is just glorious.
Yeah. I love the Quake Gib noise.
Reaching like, yeah, it's like radio.
Why do we have all this Duke Nukem stuff in there?
Because I put it in there.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Hello, Mario.
Oh, the casually hardcore stuff is the dangerous stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I hope I get a big pile of dicks to put in my mouth. That would be so yummy wummy.
Yummy wummy.
It's the British accent that just makes it.
Yeah, gotta love explosive, you know? Good lord.
Here we go!
Just going through the whole soundboard, aren't we?
I like this one. I like that one. I hope that someday I can get someone on that to like look at their door.
Oh yeah.
Well, my door's that
God.
way, and the sound comes from this way.
Scott, what was the knock meme we used to sound? We used to throw it at each other at Sims.
Oh.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? Like we were like sending like jokes and stuff, like in our office jokes
Yeah.
over the
Jokes.
computers
I like
for a while.
jokes.
In an office of 4 people.
Well, it was like Scott was in another bedroom. I was in the front, and it was like we could have just shouted at each other across the office.
Yeah.
And most of the time, we were the only ones in the office.
Mr. McMahon?
Ooh,
Why do you always have the weirdest backgrounds, dude?
dude, this is like the background for Willy Wonka crazy.
Mm. He does. He's
Oh,
always
we're
got the
just waiting
strangest
for
ones.
Bill, right?
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
waiting for Bill. That's literally it.
I was like, why is it so wacky?
Just waiting on Bill.
Sorry about that.
Thank you for your
I like
cooperation.
the eyes.
Such a great movie. Apparently, Rogue City, the RoboCop game, is almost supposed to be pure nostalgia.
Yep.
Ooh, yay.
Pretty much. Yep.
Mhm.
Pretty much all I've heard too is that it's just like absolute and total, just honorific to the show, to the movie.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Oh, the movie. You have news.
Set between
What
set
is
between the
news?
worlds of RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3, Rogue City.
Can't believe they shot that guy in the dick.
Oh, that would hurt.
New stage of education.
Oh, in Duolingo? Oh.
Positive prevention.
Okay, now I'm confused.
You're preventing the positive. It's like,
Sex
no,
ed.
no.
That's
No,
what
well,
it
I
sounds
can-
like.
I mean, I can. help
Nothing
with
good
that.
shall enter here.
Oh.
See, your comment actually makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does. Makes me feel even more awkward.
That is the stupidest.
Well,
It's
alright.
moment.
So Drew, it finally has, gone around full circle.
That is dumb as hell.
Where the teacher sends the curriculum and I look it over and I go, yeah, I approve. Here's some other websites I would recommend as well. Here's my book.
That's actually amazing, by the way. But
Wouldn't that be funny
anyway,
if they purchased your book for like
Gosh,
class?
the second person to purchase my book. That would be amazing.
You know, I'm not paying you royalties, but I do reference your book every now and then in either my psychology class or philosophy. But I do give you credit for the book. I'm just not paying you royalties.
I got a $10 royalty check in 2009 and nothing since. So
You're
I'm
a
not.
professional writer.
Yeah.
Technically.
yeah.
Well, but then you had to pay taxes on that $10. So you got like $9.
Did I declare that income? Absolutely not. It was even from
Now you're on
like
recording.
Germany or something, so I'm probably like on a list for an asset.
Fascinating.
The question
Well,
is, how in date is your research? Is it still like holding true?
The sad thing is that Inky just sent me like, oh, our teacher said to use this website. I'm like, oh yeah. Want to read my write-up, my 2-paragraph write-up from 2005 on that website? Because it's the same one from 18 years ago. That's still the best one.
well, I mean, more things
Sad.
change, more they stay the same.
and
Yeah.
previous on Shadows,
Previously on Shadows, we went to court.
I'm
And then
positively
we like
preventing your
teleported into
escape.
the labyrinth.
we possibly prevented our escape.
We're in Maze Runner.
That's right. Yeah, we got sucked into a portal. I'm looking through.
Let's see here. Let's go ahead and switch the tune here so we can get ready for our recap.
We got sucked off into a portal.
Is Ghost
yes
coming
and
back?
no.
What? No, wait. We got. Is it sucked into or off into a portal?
I'm not sure if I approve of the transitive verb being used in this fashion or context.
So there's a the American version of the show Ghosts. As the ghosts are pulled to heaven or pulled to hell, they always refer to it as being sucked off into heaven or
Yeah.
hell. And you've had
That was
the modern,
intentional.
and then you have the modern people going, maybe into the portal.
Oh, Ghost isn't coming back until early 2024.
It makes me sad.
I love that show.
Well, both
Is that
the
the one where like they live in the house and like there's all the haunted people from like
Mhm.
different eras?
yes, and the American version is great.
It's
That's
fantastic.
what I heard. That's what I've heard.
You have like a Native American, a Viking, an old like carpetbagger, like
Mhm.
the guy from the 50s, Flower Child from the 70s, like the whole prom date from the 80s, like everybody. Coke Bro, like a Lehman
80s.
Brothers guy from
Yeah,
the
Lehman.
early 2000s, like
who wears no pants.
who has no pants on yet.
Hey, we don't ask questions. So, how did we get sucked into this maze of?
I don't think we know. It just
The
happened.
floor was quicksand. We
Well,
like
we were-
fell into
Wait.
You guys
wait.
were eating pie with Ken. I mean,
Oh yeah, we were trying to figure this
Hugh
out.
Man, trying to like touch base, like, hey, How you been? Where you
Yeah.
been?
Yeah.
That's like one of those awkward pauses when you haven't talked to someone in a while that you know you screwed over, and you're like, "So, can we get pie? Hey,
There's no
Yeah,
how are
awkward
ya?
pause with Hugh, man.
Oh, he was
Yeah, I
completely
know.
oblivious.
Like I can totally screwed you. How you been?
Oh yeah, then
So,
Danny
how's the
did
world?
some
Magic.
like try to find an exit, and he got like a heading kind of, and Malcolm is like, I trust you, like let's go in this direction.
Yeah, this is all your fault again. This is all your fault again.
And
Like,
now we're
kid,
in this. Now we're in this labyrinth, and Malcolm's going like, trust the magic.
Yeah, all I know is my guy. I have a note saying my guy is running to the exit, and he's got Malcolm handed my character his dirk, and then my character vanished, and he's
yeah,
pretty
you did
pissed
your
off.
Vanish thingy.
And you apparently use the dead lantern, Malcolm. You have a lantern
Yeah.
of the dead, like because you just keep these things. Who does that?
Well, no, it's his usual thing. You've seen him use it. So his lantern of the
my character-
Jiangxi
my
bloodline.
his
My character's
lantern of
freaked
the
out by
dead.
magic.
So the
This
lantern
stuff,
of the
like-
dead, just to reiterate
Yeah.
for the viewers, the effect is the light of the flame goes to to an amber to blue. The illumination will show things that are normally invisible. This also will pick up psychic echoes or spirits that are in the immediate 4-meter radius of the light. As such, they will notice the bearer of the light and attack if hostile. The illumination will also show magic and portals, skip gates, or entrances to Netherlands that come under the light. The effect lasts while however it's lit. So basically, it's
Okay,
a pathfinder.
so this thing's like a black light. You're
Yeah.
shining a black light on this thing. and
Magic-
it's some
magic black
creepy-
light. Yep, pretty much.
Got it. Magic black light. Got it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also another element to this, if you guys recall. Because you had happened to see something in the sky swarming around. You couldn't identify what it was. A dark
it's
cloud of
fixed
something.
thing going down on the hellish slide.
Oh yeah, that's my character's hatred of you guys.
It's pushing us forward. The way I imagine is like in
Oh.
Fortnite when you got the
Hey.
little storm coming in.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a hate cloud.
of the hate cloud.
Okay, creepy black light, hate cloud. My guy's got a knife and he's vanished. This is gonna go great.
Should be epic. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Weren't we
Gonna be
in
a
like an
total
epic
player kill.
setting?
What's the TPK? Is that the word?
Total party.
Or
kill.
total part. Yeah,
Party.
total party kill. Yeah.
They said player, but I was close. I was there in spirit at least.
Have you had this happen, D, where you've just the whole party gets wiped?
Yes, I have had that happen. It was after a
I've not played
series
many games
of
original than one.
massive flops, and the main character
Oh, that sucks.
who was supposedly the kind of crux of the whole thing ended up like rolling 3 ones in a row and got sandwiched in a horse accident that literally snapped him in two.
Oh, I remember that story. That was dumb.
That sounds fun.
So we're So Danny has kind of given us a direction, and the lantern's out because it'll reveal hidden paths or otherwise. So Malcolm's gonna be taking on the role of tracker, but listening to Danny as Danny's giving him some feedback because they've established somewhat of a trusting relationship, right? He still thinks he's a punk, but or he's a mischievous lad. He is still a mischievous lad of ill intent, according to Malcolm. Hugh is doing Hugh's thing, and well, somebody has absconded elsewhere. Sound about right?
That sounds great. I'm looking at my character's feats. This guy's got intolerance. He's a fanatic for basically not liking how magic's used, and he's paranoid as hell that y'all are out to get him. So yeah, maybe he is related to Ivar. So
Well, needless to say, at your present condition, everyone was moving through this labyrinth trying to find their way through. Now, you have Danny's perception of the situation moving you along, following fluctuations of arcane energy through the structure, usually through the wall and, floor and ground, just trying to see if there's anything that's significant. And then there is a pulse and flow of this going in a certain direction, which is where he's starting to lead. Then you have Max, who did his vanish in plain sight. More or less, he basically walked out of view when everybody was not paying attention to him, and he's following behind, but he's doing so at a distance while everybody else is kind of just focused on their situation. So we have the lot of us. I don't recall if was Barnaby with this crew. I don't think he was.
I don't think so.
No.
Let's see.
it was just the group having pie.
I think it was just the main people, because I know that Estelle's not with you. Tiberius isn't with you. I don't think. I think it was just the main group, along with Max.
Yeah, so Danny pooped into existence next to us. And then Malcolm came to see us, and then we all got sucked into the vortex. So it's just the core four.
Okay. That being said, there's pressure to find and move yourself through. Now you have Malcolm leading the way at this point, and he's using that lantern of his, which creates this eerie distortion where you can peel back some of the quasi-reality that everyone's sort of stuck in. So the very same occult energy that Danny's following is now made visible, at least within that 30-foot range of that lantern. So it makes it very simple for everyone to kind of follow along as they're sort of within that radius. Of course, whatever it is that swarm is in the sky is starting to kind of swirl and come down closer, so we all have to start making moves. At this point, it's kind of a crapshoot. So, because you're leading the way there, Malcolm, with the rest of it, and you and Danny both are kind of trying to make sense of the situation, go ahead and make occult rolls between the two of you, please.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you even wanted Danny to sense through the lantern, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really necessary at this point, because like I said, he basically offers up the pure visual, and you can detect it without help.
Does that give him any bonuses, though?
He's got the same information that you do, so not really.
Okay.
22 occult for Danny.
Okay.
9.
9. A wee more. God. Earth. True. Oh, okay. That did not look correct. I see what's going on. All right. Either way, make an awareness check, Malcolm, just while you're kind of moving this along.
Okay, awareness. Sorry. Supposed
Yeah.
to GIF.
Yep, you're good.
At least my awareness is good.
Yeah.
You'll be aware about the thing you have no idea is coming after you.
Well, I mean,
That's good awareness.
Malcolm's kind of an interesting character in that regard. 14. Not great, but oh well.
It's still good enough.
Let's see. We're heroic. We're street level. That's perfectly good.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone's proceeding on. You're at a fast walk. You're still watching as this thing is starting to spiral down into your, down to ground level. While you're moving through this way, you guys are taking paths that seem that they're going to be, working themselves through. With Danny's assistance and the fact that you guys can actually see a lot of what's happening here, you're kind of moving through. Oddly enough, in the next minute to minute and a half, you guys don't hit any dead ends. You start moving through it, and you're kind of proceeding on without much trouble. So it feels like you're in the right track at this point. Whenever that swarm finally gets down to like a low enough level, where the altitude is close enough that they can basically just be flying overhead, you do hear a large amount of what sounds like wings or some kind of just that sound of insects. Like it's something that's just very loud. And it will be coming in close on you guys, so you're going to have to try and figure out what you're intending to do
That's
about
what
it,
you
if
said.
anything.
I was really I was struggling with what you said.
What? I said insects.
Insects. Yeah.
Insects.
I heard a different word.
So
You
I'm going to
screwed
do
me
an
up on it.
awareness roll to kind of like ascertain what's descending upon us.
Okay.
Hey, and it's a 14 again.
14 again. Okay. And that was
Yeah,
for
right.
another awareness?
Yeah, it's awareness of like evaluating the things that are descending. Like the first awareness
Like, are
check
they
was
bats? Are they bugs?
the awareness check first was basically the path forward. The second awareness check was for what is that?
In this case, you're definitely sure it's probably something much, much larger. Maybe, it sounds like insects, period. Just a huge swath of them. And when you start, like, looking at what they appear to be something much larger than your typical locust, but very locust-like. Although they have differentiating features here. Because when you're staring at them, they have those same praying mantis claws. But, yeah. It's starting to get
So you
more
see
and more ugly
you
looking.
you see Malcolm kind of look back. He looks forward. He's got the lantern up. He looks back, looks forward, looks back again, pauses. You just see like one eyebrow. It's like, all right. So Max, if you're around, because I can't see you. Everybody else, I think we need to move at a rather swifter pace than we are currently.
Not that one.
D.
Yeah.
I'm thinking here. Max has tactics and tracking as a pretty strong area. Would either of these be a wise thing for him to possibly roll in this moment? Either tactics to be like what we could possibly do to avoid these things, or tracking to see if he could add to this magic black light to find a way the hell out of here.
You're using tracking or what?
Tracking or tactics.
Tactics would be more beneficial.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
As
Welcome
per
to the
usual, you
evening.
happen to crit out when doing basic checks of any
25.
kind.
So he's in the shadows. And what does he see with this that could be to the advantage of the group with regards to Malcolm's request?
Well, that's just it. Practically speaking, this whole situation is screwed up. You don't have anywhere else to run. You're pinned into a laned area. You have a massive swarm of insects that seem to come. You're closest to them, by the way, because they're coming around from like back and front. So you're actually at the furthest perimeter. So that puts you at basically first contact whenever these things get up super close. Tactically speaking, your best shot is to try and figure out some way to narrow the field. You're going to need some kind of widespread, either like fire, something like that, or some other kind of defensive means of getting like collected together. Because the problem is that these things, there's so many of them that like being able to do anything cohesively is going to be bad. Well, yeah, I mean, because you can swing and swat and do the rest of that stuff. It's just going to be, hey, it's called for dinner.
Got it. So we need an AoE action.
I think we just need to escape.
Well, escape is definitely going to have to happen, but you guys are caught up
on.
on, which is anticipated given the circumstances of this.
How far away is any of the characters from Max's location? Is he close enough that he can actually talk to someone without giving himself away, almost like a
You can
whisper in
talk
the ear?
loudly. You're at 35, 40 feet on average most of the time, depending on how they're moving.
We need fire. Fire.
Oh. Isn't that nice?
Donnie. And he just he gestures, he's got the lanterns, like, do the thing.
Because Max wants me to use magic?
No!
Because it's beneficial for him right now?
No, because, and he looks at his lanterns and goes, because, and he looks at you in the eye and goes, because even though I'm dead, I'd really not die. Understood?
20 seconds.
I will happily do a fireball if he asks me to.
Max, I don't care what sort of
15 seconds.
miracle, lie, or otherwise you have to do. You literally have 5-10 seconds at this point to say, oh, Danny, please, because it casts a fireball, I'd not like to fucking die.
Danny, can you really cast a fireball? I don't want to fucking die.
Say please.
Please. Bullshit.
Absolutely. Let's see if I actually do it.
So Max
And I just
is
feel my character right now has the dagger. Like he's getting ready. Like he wants to. He's saying this, and he's ready to just like throw it right at this kid.
so to keep in mind that while you're talking about this, you were actually running towards the group at this point because you're not gonna stay hidden for that. And obviously, when you start talking, you're not gonna be like, "Hey," like that, and just hide back again. So they knew where you were.
No. My character is making his way.
Yeah, you rush
Definitely
towards
running
center,
towards
and
him.
you're basically just doing like, "Can you please cast a fireball so I don't fucking die?" Like you're just running along at this point because they are chasing right behind you.
Okay, so I have one success. Which
Good
is
enough.
a threshold one, so.
No. Don't you have 2 successes?
Well, I got a 10 and a 1, so it cancels out.
Ah.
Yeah, you'd have to
Got
use
it.
luck to boost that up.
Don't shave your
Either way, that is good
Well-
enough.
Yeah, it's a threshold one, so.
Yeah. So,
So,
of
yeah,
course,
I'll
Danny
just
with a
casually
shit-eating
go.
grin on his face is just kind of like,
Absolutely.
yep.
Oh, now you want me to cast magic? And he's. Cast that! So, if I can, just aim past Max, so it looks like I'm aiming at Max, but it's going past Max.
Yeah.
And that'll be the 10 and the 1, and then the explosion will be what makes it work.
Yep. So,
Should I,
just
should
make your
Max
spell attack
roll
to
a-
basically pop it at the right time. That's the only thing you really got to do.
And-
Because there's no way you're going to
Does
miss.
Max-
It's just how good are you?
Yeah, does Max need to like roll acrobatics to like try and like flip out of this thing?
I mean, you can roll an acrobatics or athletics check to just kind of like, you know, like in this case, you could probably make an athletics just to haul ass out of the way or like keep running, you know, to really kind of push it there.
19 on my spell attack.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's exactly where you want it. All right, so Danny, of course, smugly takes up his hand and he just kind of like molds his flame into like between the two of them and then just lets it go, right? It launches near where Max's head is, very close. Who he ends up just kind of diverting just enough, but it goes past him at this point. There's actually kind of a sound of something kind of like air screeching because of the heat and how fast it's heating up. But it stays coagulated. When it hits this cloud of the swarm, it detonates. And it does so with a rather kind of like pronounced explosive force. Everybody was like, we're standing back maybe 25, 30 feet from this. We're feeling the heat. We're feeling the pressure change. It kind of pops our ears. whenever it erupts like this, it goes big, wide fire and then pretty much smoke. Immediately after that, there are just hundreds of these insects that are just filling that corridor, and they're just writhing around and being like on fire, smoking. There is horrific sounding screams from these things as they burn to death.
Oh.
And then the swarm of it goes up and out and wide, kind of coming around the smoky area from where that fireball blasted. Because they apparently not a fan of fire and smoke, especially interrupting their pathway there.
All right, but now we go.
And
Yes.
do make sure to mark that one exhaustion for that one. I don't know if you did or not.
I did, yeah.
Yep. All right. It looks like they are basically swarming out like this, and they're going to be coming back down, trying to refocus on the group. So now everybody's pretty much at a run. Malcolm, I need another one of those occult checks. With that awareness, you're going to be okay. So, like, your tier of difficulty has been dropped a little bit because you're staying on top of things.
Yeah. While we're
12.
out of here, do any of you guys have my guns?
Running for his life. Hey, you guys got my guns?
I don't know. Ask your demonic friend who's trying to get you to prosecute against us. He's just kind of like trotting down. Deal with
You're
the
the ones that left me.
You wandered off, you prat.
You fraud.
You
I was
untrusting.
in the shadows.
Oh, you
With
don't
my
trust
guts.
anybody. You're self-preservating. For the love of God, the only way to trust somebody is to trust somebody. Try it once in your life.
All while they're running for your lives.
That makes sense.
Sanity checks. Okay, I feel like at this moment my character really needs to roll a cool check to see if he's keeping his shit together. Because
You can make a cool essence
Part of
check to
his
do just
parent-
that.
all right.
Okay, so we had a 12 on an awareness, by the way.
All right.
I mean,
so,
occult.
right, and you go pushing through. You're making good headway, at least so you think, and then you come around the corner and you run into a dead end.
Oh no.
Yep, and they are right behind you, which means that you're gonna have to react one more time there, Danny. Fire away.
Happily. This time I'm gonna burn a bracelet one
Okay.
to just leave no chance.
What's my cool? Is there a target for that?
Whenever doing essence checks, it is always 8 unless stipulated otherwise in terms of the target
Gotcha.
number.
Thank you.
Yep.
Another bracelet success and one
Right,
success
so you ended
on
up
the
getting
roll.
2 there. Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Max is losing his shit. He's at a -1.
So, in this basic sense, you basically are losing your cool in terms of your temper. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, he has a lack of trust in others,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry. He also has a -1 automatically for a cool check, so he's at -2. And I think this is just generally his, like, I'm done with you people. I can't keep this shit together. This is so abnormal. Like, I don't think he's going PTSD. I think it's at what point does he lose his shit and just start flinging knives?
Mad as hell and he's not gonna take it anymore.
Yeah, I think that's where this guy's going.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, as far as your temper is concerned, yeah, this is your snapping point, 100%. So, Danny, whenever you launch this off, it's another extremely successful firing of your fireball spell. Feels pretty good to be this consistent. And again, you just launch it straight out. It hits just a little bit further away this time, causing a disruption of that air. There's a bunch of, like, it's not debris, but you can see, like, the small shattered pieces of kiting off these insects as the detonation goes off. And again, more of that horrific screaming But now there's a bit of a situation in reference to, in reference to the fact that they are now sort of in that entryway, and you guys are stuck in this situation.
Donnie,
How
can you
high are the walls?
Again,
Well-
they were 10 feet, if I remember correctly. So they obstruct
Donnie,
your view.
can you make? He looks at Danny. Goes, Donnie, can you make the wall go away?
Maybe.
Do we
Can you
have a
just jump up there?
icon?
I mean, can you jump up and see if there's a path out?
Insects
Fine.
are beginning to recoagulate. You.
So he
How does the
He-
monowire work? What can that cut through?
Depends on what the situation is. If
So
you have
he's
enough-
gonna
I
leave-
have a
Yeah,
monofilament whip on my wrist.
that can cut through quite a bit. It's a nasty piece of equipment. When you're talking like solid stone, it would be able to do that. But cutting stone in a way that would not put you at risk or something else, like severing something that's like a post, no problem, because you just do that sweeping motion. But trying to do this number, you'll get shallow cuts. Physically, it's kind of difficult. Hugh, I want a hue and perception check from you, please. And then an occult roll as well.
Okay.
What skill would you need to be able to use that filament wire effectively?
Melee.
Would that be demolitions?
No, it'd be
No,
melee.
it's melee.
Oh,
The
just
problem,
be a
well,
straight
the
melee?
problem is that he would need, in order to like cut an actual entryway, you need force of some kind
Yeah.
to puncture through it. Like if it was something like it was, attached to something where
Yeah.
you could exert some kind of leverage and make a cut, that would make sense. The problem is he can't do that. It's just a whip. So
He's gonna whip the wall.
It was a thought. It's more
Yeah.
like, it sounds like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan with their lightsabers trying to cut the door open.
and the thing is, the attack's gonna descend too soon for Malcolm to levitate up, throw rope down, and pull everybody up.
Yeah, no.
So that's why he's basically saying, "Can you melt the fucking wall?"
Oh,
well, there's a secondary advantage because the walls themselves are fairly thick, and if you get yourself on top, you might be able to see what you're looking for in that particular sense.
How tall is the wall?
10 foot.
Can he? Would acrobats allow him to like almost parkour it up, run up it, and try and grab?
Yeah, I mean, 10 feet is not that high. That's something where anybody who's relatively physically able is capable of getting up there. All right.
Yeah, that's what I
so
figure. Malcolm could probably just jump up.
yeah, he'd be able to jump and climb up, no problem. I wouldn't even need an athletics for
Yeah.
that.
Okay, then Malcolm will do that.
16 from Max. He's just going. He's done with this crap.
Yeah.
He sees wall. He sees bugs. He thinks that second fireball was fired at him intentionally. He's just up the wall.
Oh, dang.
that was 2 explosions for 2 different rolls.
Yeah.
Actually, with a body of 10, could I theoretically grab you and Danny and then levitate over the wall?
You're able to do that. You have the physical strength to accomplish that. But let's get back to Hugh real fast because I have him checking a couple things. So, your human perception total was 23.
That was after a crit, yeah.
In that case, we'll go ahead and move forward. So, you notice the fact that Max has, that proverbial branch that's in his brain has just snapped in half. Which is that's a kind of a dangerous problem, because Max was already unstable to begin with. I mean, you may be a hopeless romantic, but you're not an idiot.
Yeah, that broke through the hopeless romantic.
Ooh, angry Hugh.
I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna try to help it.
Well, so you've noticed that, but there's another thing that's going on here. Whenever it goes down to it, if you're wanting to take into account, so Malcolm, you're jumping up this wallway. You have that swarm just trying to recollect and basically reform
But here-
at the edge. At
but
the
here's
edge
the
there,
thing
just
is,
beyond the smoke.
Can I snatch Hugh's belt and snatch Danny's belt and just levitate over the wall?
Yeah, I mean, you can bring them up there with you. Yes.
That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
He's just gonna grab those two and just go over the wall.
Well, you get up and over the wall, and if you actually land on top of it, you can see the scope of the area that you're in. It's just a matter of getting to your either centralized location. True to what a labyrinth really is, labyrinth is meant to actually kind of create obstacle, but guide you towards the center. That's the whole point. It's much different
Right,
than
you're
a
not
maze.
supposed to get lost in a labyrinth.
Right. Obviously there are pitfalls, traps, and so forth that you probably are going to have to try and anticipate, one of which just being dead ends. But you get up there to the top, and what was that, Drew?
I was just going to say it happens, but I'm very curious. When we're on top of these walls, could we use the walls themselves to walk and
Yeah.
navigate on?
Yeah, which seems to be an odd point. Either way, you guys are standing up there, and like I said, what is interesting to you, Hugh, while you're looking this over, you actually are going to take huge note of the fact that this area, the whole entirety of it, when you start looking at it from this point of view, has a tendency to actually have this vast, almost occult-like circuitry element to it. It's almost like you're standing on some sort of occult circuit board.
At this point, Malcolm is still with the body, just lifting the two of them, and he has a sprint speed of 42 meters. He's going to basically,
Yards.
because Max is doing Max's thing.
Yards!
He's accepted that.
Yeah,
Alright.
no. Max is at 24 sprint.
Yeah, so
So
he's just
he's up
basically
over the
going
wall.
to sprint towards the center, and anytime there's a gap, he's going to levitate over it. But
Okay,
he's
I need...
carrying. He's
Right, well,
carrying
while you're
these
doing
two.
this, you're kind of diagnosing this issue. You've got Danny and Hugh. Okay, Hugh, yeah, it's it's going to look really kind of nuts. But while you're doing your levitation, you will recall that you move slowly. So even if you're crossing gaps, you're gonna slow down to a walking speed.
Let's see. Is miles per hour equal to will, so he can levitate over the gaps at 6 miles per hour.
Yeah, like I said, you're basically speed walking over the top. It's slower than your sprint, but yeah, it's still getting over a gap.
Well, yeah, he's sprinting on the parts he can walk on, and then he's levitating over the gaps he doesn't have to. Yeah, okay. Or jumping the 11 meters.
Right.
No, he'll jump. No, he won't levitate. He'll jump because it'll be faster.
How far is the
He's going
space
to throw
between
up.
wall to wall if Max were to try and jump those?
Well, they seem to be about roughly 12, maybe 12 feet apart, equidistant from each other anywhere you go. So, if you were able to leap that chasm across, if you were to have like a corner angle somewhere, sometimes it can be a little shorter,
Yeah.
but honestly, it's all equidistant, about 12 feet apart.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got a jump of 6. So
Right, if you have a running
He's
start,
not-
like if you get a good running start, you can jump, leap. The problem is the landing and making sure that you don't overpower it, so you don't just go
well, could I?
like that and go off the other
Yeah.
side.
Can I mix those in with he's very strong in acrobatics.
Yeah. He's gonna
Just
parkour his
almost
ass.
like he's
I just love that you're
he's
like
up
this
on that
crusty
wall.
old man who's like a gymnast.
I don't think he's that
Yeah,
old, is he?
No, he's not old at all.
Well, I don't mean like age old. He's just this like, like, but he's like gonna be all super flexible gymnastics.
No, like he's run. I mean, this dude's he's pretty fit. I mean, he's like your redneck hick. He's fit, but he's up over that wall and he's done with you guys. He's like, man, just get me away from these guys. Like I was doing great as my warlord and you took it away. I was doing great as an assassin. You guys dragged me in. Like he's just like not having it. And he's got a 17 on his acrobatics just to get this thing started.
Okay. I mean, you're hauling ass, kind of going over these walls. You're making your jumps. You're doing it pretty well. Bill, I need you to make either acrobatics or athletics, whichever one you have or whichever one's highest. But if you're gonna be trying to move these guys around, it's not gonna be a simple task.
I like that he didn't ask. But I was like, can you just jump up there? And then he just like grabbed us.
I mean, that makes sense though. That's perfectly.
I
within
meant for him to scout,
Yeah.
you know, because I don't
We're
want to
still
blow a
running
hole
from
through the
the-
wall and
that's-
then fall
that's
into a
not
pit
bad.
trap. There's a bar guest on the other side as I blow a hole through it or something.
I don't know, but if this goes the way I think it is, I just found the greatest meme.
Oh my god.
Yes, you're welcome for that 17 athletics, by the way.
Terrible. All right. So you're not collapsing, but taking these two individuals along with you is a balancing problem, to say the least. And you're moving fast, but could be faster. Again, Hugh, you're kind of like catching wind of the fact that there is a lot going on. It would appear that Max is kind of going his own way. He's just kind of, like I said, he's snapped and he's just kind of like he's just going some other direction.
I was trying
Any-
to call out to him. It's like, hey, Max. But I don't know if you're hearing.
I don't think he's that far enough away because you were discovering that
you can
as
still
you were
hear
going up
him.
the wall.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah,
still
but
shouting
no.
distance, and you guys are just starting. So, I mean, like, you've jumped a gap, and they're kind of, like, ran off and hit their own gap at this point. And, like I said, you guys are apart, but you're not, like, leagues apart or anything.
Yeah, he's making his way. Would tracking help Max figure out a way out of here at this point? Would this be a good sort of roll?
You don't really have a query to track. That's the only thing.
Run
You're kind of
toward
making a
the
guess.
mid- oh.
We're hovering, so I don't think we're like,
Well, you're going to be shook
I think,
around,
I
kind
think
of.
Max is just looking for like center away from things, and he's like, one way's as good as another.
Right. He's kind of running parallel, but he's at a distance from you guys. Is more what's happening here, since you guys are. He's just kind of like following his own directions. That being said, like Hugh, I want you to go ahead and make an intelligent, like an intelligence essence check for me, please. God, what is going on in this? No, dude.
I was like, I know there's a scene from Twilight where Edward's carrying Bella and then jumping through the tree.
All I've got in my brain with that is the riff tracks thing, because they started doing the Benny Hill music and stuff whenever you're running around like that.
10, fail 1, target 8.
At this point, the swarm is going to be closing in on you guys by the time you've left your second gap.
I got one success because the second one didn't count.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Like, because I got a 10.
Yeah, you're good.
He kind of directs Danny towards the swarm. Do something!
Oh my gosh. So, yeah. I mean, up to you. You can do more fireballs. You can do something different. What's Danny up to at this point?
I mean, he's had some success with the fireballs, but I think I'm gonna try and like basically Hadouken at the swarm and see if that'll just, you know, they now they're exploding and then like reforming.
Well, they blast apart. Any of the ones that weren't caught in the blast directly managed to reorient, but it's like a living cloud. It kind of like
Okay.
recedes back and comes up high and then comes swooping back down after you guys
Yeah.
again.
You should put like a lightning bolt, but like when it makes first contact, it makes the next contact.
Chain lightning.
Contact.
Chain lightning.
Yeah. Like I mean, he would probably want to say that was like, don't use big bangs. Use something that connects to all of them or something. I don't know. I would suggest chain lightning. That wouldn't come to mind.
Do something with electricity.
I just learned chain lightning when we were fighting in that like warehouse thing.
Yep.
That seems like a
Great success. Okay.
Yo, right over there, Bill.
Max shouts back, "Stop teaching
I've been having
him magic."
allergy issues with this eye all day.
Weird. That sucks.
Yeah, it's like it hurts or it's watering all
I
day.
saw a video of a guy who was like, I saw this eye skincare technique where he's supposed to take a habanero and he cut a habanero and like rubbed it under his eyes and he goes, "Oh, no!" I'm just like, why? I don't.
That seems like a dumb idea.
Son,
Yeah.
you are a special kind of stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Danny's
took
gonna chain
lessons.
lightning.
All right.
Let me see. The bracelet has 2 more charges left, so I think I'll use 2 charges from the bracelet
All right.
plus my
Nice.
roll with 1 success. So 3 successes, which means it's supposed to. The way we laid it out is that it. Lightning bolt jumps to other targets within 2 meters of each other on a successful spell attack. Each success after the first jumps again. So that'll be 1 hit and 2 extra jumps.
Well, and in this case, because they incorporate that space, I'm just going to count those jumps as just being like within those cubic feet.
And that's a 24 on the spell attack.
I mean, you're just like that. You see that tiny little azure ball of raw energy go launching forward. The swarm comes into contact, and you can see a pretty significant, like, almost like the inside of a storm
Big
cloud.
bug zapper.
Yeah. And it goes off, but instead of hearing like the wild screaming that you got with the fire and flame, it's just a large amount of the swarm just falling through the storm cloud of them all, as gaps of them are just kind of traversing the electricity on and through them. So, and it was like, how much was it per gap? Like the distance between?
2 meters.
Oh, wow, yeah. That actually hits a massive size of it because you have 1-2 jumps. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you've got like a whole 12 cubic feet of swarm that just gets electrocuted.
2 yards.
Yeah, so it shocks the living piss out of that swarm. There's a good amount of, like, they're just crumpling. You can hear like the because they're big enough, you can hear them just tacking onto the concrete and stone.
Rain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right after that
stone.
sound of like somebody like sending off a taser. It's huge, loud cracking noise. There's actually some bursts that happen from within that swarm too. With that singular success after Danny launches yet another attack that seems to actually do pretty good. So, Hugh, you're kind of having a minor revelation about all this. The problem that you guys are encountering at this point is that it seems the circuitry in and of itself is designed to react to the people within the labyrinth. So you're kind of like going around in your head because you've seen certain spell work and other occult craft that is designed this way and reacts like trigger glyphs. And that's exactly what you guys are kind of running through. And you don't know exactly what to expect per se, but you're pretty sure that these trigger glyphs only intensify closer to the center you become. So the further deeper within this labyrinth you get, the worse things become.
Okay. That seems useful. So let's see. How jostled are we as we're running or floating?
I mean, you're not comfortable. You basically have... You're a poor... your nether region is just kind of caught up in an impromptu banana hammock because he's just got you by the back of your belt and running with it. And like I said, it's extremely uncomfortable.
Extremely. Well, I mean, since we're moving at a pace and Danny's doing his thing, he's gonna be like, hey, this area, Danny, doesn't this look like something that you'd make for your magic? And then it's like, I'm pretty sure that this is the trigger glyphs that Brenner showed us.
For the lightning trap?
Just in general. Just triggers. Like, as we move closer to the center, it's going to get worse. We're going to trigger more things like the Death Cloud.
Yeah, this is like high-level enchantment.
Well, could you two of you please figure it out before we all die?
Well, the material used directly leads to the powerful, amount of the spell. So I draw stuff on paper and it packs a little punch. You inlay something in the ground, it's going to do more. You build walls out of it. This could be, continent shattering.
Ill. Oh, I kind of wish I was still able to show that channel. Okay.
Oh, the wedgies. Yeah, I was like, Danny doesn't wear a belt. You grabbing him by his pants.
Yeah, kind of worse.
He's
Less
hitting those
support.
octaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are screaming back and forth about these tactical nuances here. Max, at this point, I just need an awareness check. You're actually far enough away that even though they're shouting this off, you have the crack of lightning as he sends off another, like, largely deadly spell at the swarm. But you're gonna have to see if you can't hear over the maelstrom of sound as you're running along to kind of pick up on what they're saying.
He's got an 11 awareness.
You don't hear it.
Partially deaf in one ear from all the popcorn bugs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I figure at this point, this guy is like, he wants to be, he thinks they are the source of all of his troubles.
Malcolm,
He's
make
running
another
away.
athletics. Yep. No, that makes sense to me.
And we're, Hugh and Danny and Malcolm are heading toward the center, right?
Yeah.
At 6 miles an hour.
Oh no. Only 6 miles an hour when we're going over the gaps.
Okay.
He's literally sprinting at 42 meters per
round.
second.
Per round.
Per round.
Mm-hmm.
Per round.
Mm-hmm.
So you are feeling a bit of speed. And then it slows down. And then you get
float,
speed up.
And then speed, and then float, and then speed, and then
Speed float.
Danny's gonna have to make a body.
Constitution check not to throw up.
He's getting motion sick.
I had not thought about that. That's amazing.
So Danny's casting this while getting a wedgie.
Yeah.
While Hugh is going, wait a second, there's a problem. I think I got it figured out.
Yeah.
Malcolm's just like,
just not powder.
let's vote for the middle. And Max is going, no.
Right.
Yeah, that's about
Do I
right.
have it summed up well?
To give you an idea of how fast, like, Malcolm is running whenever he's actually running on the stonework, even with the two of you in his arms, he's running at 29 miles an hour.
So we said a 10 is Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Yep. So he's running fast.
Well, he's running away from the danger bugs.
Yeah,
That's
the
his
danger
logic.
bugs. Well, also, Danny
How
manages to
long
keep
can he
his lunge exactly where it's supposed to be for the time being.
How long are-
Weird comb.
Oh, do we?
How long can he
Oh, wait.
sustain that for?
Do you have the same one I do? Oh, you do.
We're beard comb bros.
We're beard.
Look at
what?
that.
Oh,
He has it too.
you have the hunt. It's the huntsman, right?
Yeah.
The huntsman.
This is actually the
just lie and
the
say you have
Isner
the
Mile. A little different.
Look,
But
look,
the same design.
We're beard bros. We
Yeah.
are beard bros. That is all that matters.
It's been great, man. I need this.
Why do you have to comb a beard? What's the point of that?
Tangles.
It's very
Get one
tingly.
and you'll find out. Plus, not to mention the factor of like straightening it
Yeah.
out.
And the other thing is, if you put like a lot of oils or balms, and you actually, I actually when I straighten my beard, I put beard oil in, and then I use the comb, and the comb's usually saturated with oil, and then I rub it into it. So when I use the comb naturally, it actually distributes more oils into my beard.
Well, and it also
Very
seeps
silky
into the
smooth.
wood and kind of.
Yeah, it keeps.
Right? Yeah.
And the big thing is like, especially with my length, and how curly my beard is, I get tangles. I
And
have.
I just sent you what a beard would look like if you don't do any of those things.
Is it
Enjoy.
you?
Send it to your phone.
Is it you from the lumberjack days?
Yeah. I had just gotten out of the river, so all the oils had
Oh
gotten
God!
out. Everything I did.
Oh,
it just,
yeah. Good God.
blew up.
So anyway, that really delighted me that we're all beard bros with the same comb. So
Well, okay.
I lost
so,
my powers today, so
Hmm?
you know.
yeah, I noticed.
So the
You bring shame to the game.
like you're hauling ass, and what was it you got? What was your athletics again?
Oh, it was stupid. Like 21.
Was that from before or the one I asked you to do recently?
That was the one you asked me to do recently, which was 21. Do you want me to do another one? You know what? Hell, I'll do another one.
That was from 11
52
minutes ago.
PM.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
So
well.
one,
I asked you to do another one after that.
Okay, you did? Okay.
Yep.
26.
I know what Ken's getting for Christmas.
There we go. That is good enough. You keep your pacing, and you manage to not drop anybody. So this is good news.
Oh my god, sad kitty.
We're gonna basically end up holding. You're gonna be holding this formation for a little while. After another minute has transpired, the swarm has somewhat dispersed, especially after that last lightning attack. When we come to a certain point, everybody ends up kind of feeling this like distribution or juxtaposition of a shift in the air. It's like you pass through it and something kind of goes doom, and there's a vibration that kind of it comes up through Malcolm because he's the one who's actually making contact with the stone and the wall. But like Hugh, and you feel it through as well, Danny, at the same time. There's this kind of like pong, and there's a flare of something that happens whenever, because he still has the lantern and it's kind of slung to his belt, so it's still creating that ability to kind of see within everything that's going on. Yeah, so you can see that flare up. And then Max, when you finally catch up, because he's still faster than you, even with these two people that he's holding on to, you kind of catch up. You feel that same presence change as you cross some sort of weird border, clearing closer to the center of this labyrinth. Nope,
Does
it's
it
definitely
feel
not
all
right.
like what Danny felt when he was like portaling inside before? Remember
I
when
don't know
he
what
like
Danny felt like.
when he was
I don't
in the
care.
room and then he like portaled down into the bar? That feel that weird membrane sort of feeling?
Not exactly. This is almost like a shift. It's basically energetically, it's like the frequency went from where it was to a higher frequency even. So it's much more pronounced.
Oh, okay. Like a elevation shift where you feel that
Right.
like pressure change kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun. What's that high pitched
Indeed.
noise that only Danny can hear?
No, everybody's kind of aware of it. It kind of hits you right
You
down
feel
into
that-
the
you feel
visceral
yummy
physicality
ears.
of yourself. So awareness checks on everyone's part.
All right.
Bill, that was perfect.
How do we do the cool little comments again for our die roll?
Exclamation point after you do the die roll, and then anything after exclamation point is a comment. Awareness. Do the weapon, okay.
Oh, it didn't work. Oh no, it did work. Oh, it exploded. Oh dang. Okay. Okay, so Danny has a 28 awareness because he exploded.
Right, yeah. Damn
And
good.
if it's magical anything, we just add 5 on top of that.
Right, yep, nope, I'm aware. I remember Danny's, like, special abilities pretty well for some reason. I don't know why.
You're locked in, man.
Because you were tweaking
If
magic
you
at the
recall-
time.
If you recall, D, you like little boys.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Uh...
I'm positively preventing that from going anywhere.
Well, good thing
No.
Danny is 16, which is the age of majority in Midnight City.
Oh my god. No, no.
He's the age of consent.
No!
What's happening to this stream?
Look,
Fight monsters.
We go to dark places. We don't fight little monsters.
There you go. I like it.
I thought that was fun.
Just because my ex has a tendency to say certain things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, we all kind of catch that whole point. There is a pretty vibrant change in that roiling cloud cover overhead. It doesn't look like the swarm is going to be pursuing past this point. Not to mention the fact that the majority of the last attack managed to get a huge amount of them. Because, like I said, there was just a lot that were coming in, and having like 12 cubic feet just obliterated is crazy. That is a lot of dead bugs. It's because just took the jumping distance and basically said, well, that's the distance in between. There are a lot more condensed and a lot more of them. So,
Yeah.
Drew, was your 9 your awareness check?
Yep.
Okay.
He's
Hey.
aware that he's freaking out.
You asked, what is it going to take to kill my character?
the game might oblige.
bad.
Yeah. Hugh, what do you have on you for weaponry, out of curiosity? What's on your person right now? Nothing, correct?
I don't think we had any of our weapons with us. It'd be weird.
We had
go
to give them up at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'd
No,
also
I
be
thought
weird
you-
even if I had my weapons to go to a diner like loaded.
Well, I thought you guys were all giving your weapons back. It was my character who was like, "Yeah, we're not giving you your stuff back."
What Drew said.
Well,
The
at this
variants
point,
that we didn't-
Hugh didn't.
Malcolm's
He wouldn't
question.
have been carrying any of his weaponry to the cafe.
And Malcolm's just Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm's always has. He's a walking weapon.
Yeah, my character would have had all of his weapons with him in the cafe because that's just the kind of guy he is. Paranoid.
True.
Now he's got nothing.
You get nothing. You lose.
And Danny just keeps them on a wire, like he has one as like a watch, basically.
Dude, my character has a grapple gun. Grapple gun. He doesn't get to play with it.
Not here, unfortunately, because you don't have multi-tiered
I know.
like areas. That would suck. You use a
Who
grapple
says
gun
you
if you were like
use
running
grapple
really
to
fast to
look
like do that shit around corners. That'd be interesting.
You could grapple a person.
Yes, actually.
You wouldn't be
Derek's
able to
stuff.
car.
Okay, so at this point, whenever that seems to happen, I need an athletics check from Max in particular, and I also need one from Malcolm at this point. Thankfully, you guys were like
Can
high
you
enough on your
do-
side. There's no penalty, but
Yeah, can he do acrobatics instead of athletics, or does it have to be athletics?
in this case, it's good. Well, I mean, you could do either. You're trying to stop yourself from basically taking serious injury whenever you land in the center part here.
26.
Okay.
God damn.
14.
All right. So what happens is you hear a thunderclap, a loud sound. There is kind of like multiple, almost like gravel being pushed together and very loudly kind of messed with. What's the word? It's grinding together. It's kind of like the gravel is being ground against, all the different granules against each other at the same time, but it's visceral and living sounding. Whenever you actually get that, you're going to have to go down into, you'll have to like pitch into the center part of like one of the open gaps that's going to be like the pathway in the labyrinth, because something detonates directly ahead of you, Bill, as you were about ready to move across, and it has like it spits like stone and like fragments out. So if you like just let yourself drop down and land with the group, you'll basically avoid whatever's happening directly in front. When it comes to Max, whatever it is that makes impact does so right next to you, causing your footing to get lost. But you end up crashing down 10 feet below yourself. But what's your body at this point?
His body is...
Yeah.
He's got a body of 6. So...
Okay. Well, in this case, you actually take 6 damage from the fall because gravity's just making you slam up against the concrete there, or against the stonework.
Gotcha. Let me see here. He hits hard and there's a I hate that kid.
When you're looking up, you're in a slightly different section than us, which is the other problem, because you can't see where we are because you were you were running parallel, but you weren't with the group. So they collapsed into a part of the labyrinth, and you're behind walls and not able to see where they are. But you see something.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you see something up top where standing where you had just been like moved off. Some weird chitinous like humanoid figure is standing there, and they hop down into the center part and begin to pursue you with lethal intent. And the same goes for the rest of us. Only that seems to be more thunder
question.
cracking in the distance as well.
Do I see any weapons on this person?
Yes, they are holding a large polearm.
I've been wanting to use this for a while. He has commando as his trained martial arts skill.
Yep.
And I would like to mix that with the fact that he has a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, the just so for your edification, the knife is
thank you.
The knife is a plus 17 to strike.
Well, that might... Yeah, that depends on what his melee is, though.
Oh, so that's my melee. So it's damage 13. And then it is basically a blessed. So it does withering damage against demonic or undead.
Dee, how would you like to handle this? Do you want my character to roll and we see where this goes? Or do we want the other characters to...
Okay, so first of all, let's make sure that we have your right melee bonus with this, because you have a reflex of what, and what's your melee skill?
Let's see where...
I'm sorry, what's your melee skill? It's going to have that added in already.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. I have a base for commando of 12. Where is my...
You're going to use your
melee?
commando
I have a
with the
melee.
blade. Sorry. What's your commando then?
12.
Okay, so that's your base attack. It's not 17, it's 12. Because that's what you're going to be using as your skill with commando. So you were immediately put on the defensive because you got knocked off the top here, so I need you to make a defensive roll, please.
And for defensive roll, am I picking what I'm rolling for, or what would be the roll?
If you're going to try and make a parry of some kind, like basically guiding the weapon strike away from yourself and moving, that is considered a commando. If you're going to try and dodge, you have to use the dodge skill, which is trying to avoid all damage altogether.
It doesn't matter. Both are at the same level.
Okay.
So let's see.
You just got to let me know what it is you're doing, because it matters in terms of flavor.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to do it beforehand. Because he's, I'm assuming, is he hitting prone or is he hitting on his side? How did he land?
You
on
landed
the
sort
ground?
of in a rumpled heap, and then you're like on your side looking up at this point because you've got, I don't know, left-handed. Are you left or right-handed? I can't remember.
I think his character actually is dual wielding. Like he was.
Ambidextrous?
Yeah.
Either way, you're on your right side.
Got it. So he's down. He sees this guy coming towards him. I'm assuming the knife has been in his hand the whole time because he's been wanting to kill Danny with it. And so he's got that knife down there. He's laying in a position that it's not going to be easy for him to like jump up. He's going to have to try and almost roll out and then get himself up. So he's going to try like a roll, get himself into a defensive stance using dodge.
Okay.
We have a 20.
Damn, that's a good dodge. It's just unfortunate that the enemy critted on its attack.
That's all right.
Wow. Yeah. So, you try to move out of the way. When you're rolling, this elongated bladed spear, because the spear tip on it is almost a foot in length by itself, with gnarly serrations that go on both sides. The enemy that you're opposed against here is definitely, it looks almost armored in a medieval sense, but it's carapace.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still see that there are weak points both on the inside of the elbow and anywhere that the joints are moving. It's got what looks to be not any kind of heavy or carapace point. When you feel that sucker bite directly into your back as you're rolling away, you avoid the lethal blow, but you take some serious cut across the back and shoulder area as you're rolling out and away. And I'll even allow you to stand up at this point, but it is coming after you in pursuit. So, you know, it's basically going to move in for another
damage?
thrust.
How much damage did he take?
You took 18. So you don't have any armor on.
You're like a little over half down, right?
Yeah, he's got that's
no,
24
he's
HP.
got 2.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
24
he's-
HP in
he's
total
got
right
2,
now.
So he's definitely breathing, realizing this is glory, and he's got that knife there, and he's now holding in a more of a defensive move. And what I think he's going to try and do is see if he can get a hold of this weapon to switch it back, while at the same time, like one hand, let's grab that weapon, and one hand, let's throw that
Yeah,
knife and hit.
you're
hopefully
attempting
get
for a
Cherry.
grapple strike is what you're trying to do. You're trying to pin the weapon so it can't move it, and you're trying to strike at the same time so that you can get to a weak point. Makes sense to me.
You gotta do the drop
Makes
the
sense to
dagger
me.
them.
Yeah, almost like I want that pole to be mine. You can have the dagger real fast. Let's see if I can do some damage. So what would be my roll?
You're going to roll a commando to make your attack. It's going to try and defend.
Is this what it looks like?
I like it.
2. I'm sorry, 14 total results.
That's something of what it could be something similar to that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a little bit more humanoid. It doesn't have the inverted knees like this one does. It looks more humanoid. But yeah, you could definitely expect that it looks something like that.
Okay, so like maybe something like this.
Makes me wish I could show these things in chat. Yeah, there you go. As a matter of fact, that's pretty
Oh,
damn
it's
close.
like
I don't
a-
know where you're coming up with that, but good for you.
See, that's almost like a Thrycreen.
I'm using AI generation for you.
Of
Oh,
course.
that's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I'm using your descriptions, D. This
Yeah.
shows how good they are.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
literally
thinking
Yeah, that's
like
that
Lord.
second shot. That second shot in there is very, very close. Just imagine it with like armored, like just imagine that same armor style going down head to toe. But yeah, I mean, you nailed it. So what did you get on your attack there, Drew?
14 is his attempt to throw, disarm, and
I
turn
need
the
you-
tide.
Yeah, make. You're attempting to disarm while you're hurling this weapon. Go ahead and attempt In this case, because it's not technically strength, you're going to roll on your reflex as an essence check to try and disarm it. You're going to try and break its grip by basically using leverage, not just raw strength.
And I'm saying you said I'm using my reflex.
Correct. It is an agile. It is an agile attempt at weapons. Basically, a weapon disarm. Sorry. Okay.
We have 2 degrees of success.
Fair enough. It only has 1. You managed to disarm the son of a bitch. So the dagger, like, hits off the chest area, doesn't penetrate deep enough to do any serious damage, causes it to flinch. You break. What you do is you end up breaking the wrist, and you push down, and you basically counter it, so you're standing with the blade towards your opponent, and you step backwards. But you're basically holding it out, now with the weapon in hand. But you're able to distract it enough that you could break its grip and actually take the weapon away.
Got it. Yield.
It does not respond. Instead, it comes after you, like just holding its fingers out wide, and rushes in to just come basically to attack and kill you. Oh my god, dude.
Okay. Whoa.
Be good.
That ain't right. Do we want to continue this, or do we want to pause it at this moment and jump over to the rest of the group?
We can pause it right here. I'll remember what that was. Anywho. Alright, we land inside of the labyrinth again. Between the 2 walls standing 12 foot apart. We hear a crunch as one of these insectoid-like soldiers lands, same weaponry, same gear and getup. Like, it's just almost like they're automatons, but it lands down inside that area. You can hear that there are others that are landing nearby, and they are approaching at a steady walk. But this is the one that's closest because you guys were adjacent one of the walls, and it's just a little under 12 feet and moving and approaching the group. So, one of those things where it's like, now we get to see exactly what the hell's going on. So, we're going to need that combat sense awareness from everybody.
Sorry about your friends.
Is that remorse? Like, you hear him shouting, is that remorse?
No.
No.
So Max has taken 24 damage at this point.
24. He's got 12 left before he's dead.
$16.
13 for Danny.
Okay.
Yikes, I rolled a 2.
What you got there for me, Hugh?
I got 13 as well.
Who's
I totally thought you were doing like a knowledge check or something like that, and then you pop out this awesome AI art.
You guys have the same reflex, don't you?
I have 2. I have 6.
I have a 4 reflex.
4 reflex, and you have
probably
what?
Have your combat sense trained more.
Ah, so what's your reflex, Hugh?
Mine's 6.
6. Okay, so Hugh's next. That.
Yeah, I've trained in combat since 5. So.
Oh God, why would a little kid train in combat sense?
Because he's paranoid, dude.
He's rich.
To go first.
He's paranoid and wants to go first. Amicable enough. Alright. As per usual, Malcolm, you are actually up first.
Okay, he is going to activate Warrior Instinct.
Of course.
Well, you don't have to say it that way. Anyway. So that he activates his Warrior Instinct in combination with his fencing, so his attack rolls get a +5, and he now has 4 melee attacks because of his melee master and Warrior's Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
For my last email.
Yes. So there's just the one target in front of him. Yes.
Yes, right now. Yeah, he's the closest enemy and definitely the largest threat right now.
Okay, so 1d10 plus let's see, 17.
They stand
plus
somewhere close to
5.
6'8", just so you know. So they're big, but they're not gigantic. Yeah.
Okay, 23. Yeah. Give me a second. So he's going to do all 4 attacks. He's going to basically attack the joints because it's an insectoid. So 25 for the first one. 25 for the second attack. Wow. Okay.
Lensing.
33 for the third attack.
Bigger than that.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Oh, okay.
That's a crit.
This is
So-
like Barrack style. I love it.
And then just roll a d10.
Yeah, baby. D19. Anyway.
There's a character that was awesome.
Roll a d10, Bill, not a d19. Thank
Fine,
you.
it's
36.
36. I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. D19.
Oh, man. All right. Okay. It tries to match your speed. It is not anywhere close to you. As a matter of fact, the first attack bludgeons it so badly, whenever you basically cut towards collarbone, it goes from there to its right arm, then to its left, and then to the right knee. Whenever it goes down to its right arm after the initial cut, you manage to completely sever the arm from the joint. Because it actually ended up botching on its defense. And then the other 2 cuts make impact. What is your damage, sir?
So with Dead Warrior, Bloodline powers that focus on combat gain plus 5 damage. I've employed my Warrior Instinct, so I have plus 5 damage to my normal, let's see, 16. So he's doing 21 damage per withering damage against demonic or undead.
Right. Well, at this point, it is definitely clear that you are dealing with something that is quasi-demonic because the shriek and the way that the cuts look when you are finished, that slight smoke that kind of curls up, it ends up dropping the weapon that it had in its other hand because it can't control that whenever it actually gets cut in that particular fashion. Yeah. I mean, you basically cut this thing up, but it just sort of like stands there shivering. The left arm is missing because of the way that your cuts were following through. Then the right side is smoking right around the joint area, kind of falling loose and limp and useless. And it just kind of goes down to that one knee as it's trying to cradle the other arm, but you can see it's just moving the stump towards the cross of its chest, trying to get it, and it can't manage this. The opponent is disabled at this point, not dead, but hurting so badly it wants no more. So it is no longer effective. The others that seem this happen, they begin to rush the group rather quickly at this point, realizing that there is a pretty significant problem being dealt with at this point. There are 3 in total. One of them will actually lob the spear that they have towards the group. I'm going to find out who that's being lobbed at. All right, let's see here. Malcolm, Hugh, Danny. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
B4.
Hut, hike.
Hugh? That would be you, man.
Use me. So I'm dodging.
Oh, God, I fucking hope so. Jesus Christ. Anyway. To the weak characters in the group. The dice really hate you people right now. I need a dodge from you there, Hugh.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
As
Taking Scrapper.
as a friendly note from the DM, I would recommend lock.
Do I have any luck? I have
You haven't
3
used any
I'll
luck
try
this-
re-rolling it.
Yeah.
Am I lucky? I am lucky. Okay, cool.
Right. So you have 14 plus
Oh.
another D10.
Yeah. Let's see here. Hey, I got a
It
10.
exploded.
That's weird that I
Holy
put it
crap!
Twice.
I'm
Twice?
just gonna like after image.
No, it's just once, dude.
Oh, to me it showed twice.
Yeah, it says re-roll with lucky. Roll as a D10, and then it says result
I
10.
didn't mean to put that. I used GIF for some reason. But that works too.
That's amazing. I don't know.
It's literally just 1d10. Like, that's what that GIF is.
Right, so you got 15 on your luck roll. That adds to 14, makes it 29. Which also means that you managed to beat the 24 that it got on its check to throw the spear. Jesus. Hugh has a Matrix moment. I don't know what else to call it. Now, do you want me to describe how you managed to do this, or do you want to just do it? Which way would you prefer?
So this creature just lobs a spear at me, right?
Yes. Well, lobs a spear at the group. You realize it's coming after you in a very brief moment of realization.
He's on tonight for his realizations, by the way.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, seriously.
You know they're doing live action. That's God.
You have a more cinematic mind than I do.
Hey there, Sonic So.
He just goes.
I feel
No,
like
he-
he reaches out to say, "Hi, my name is Hugh," and as
No,
he
he-
does that, it like
No, Hugh does this. Like, oh, there's a coin, and then
That would be
passes-
lucky.
Oh, you have like the Mr. Magoo dodging, where you like.
Like, I'm
duck
not even
under
trying
the
to dodge,
beam,
it's like,
flying
oh.
by.
No, so this actually fits right in because you're like, oh, I'm gonna need a weapon. So you go over to the spear, you pick it up, and it goes, shing, like that goes right past where you're standing, and you pick up the weapon.
Cool.
Yeah. They will be closing in distance, but you still have range on them, Danny, at this point, so you're next. Oh, I'm sorry. Hugh, you're next, because you're going to be the one who's pursuing. Danny's last.
Yeah.
So you pick up the spear that was dropped by the previous opponent, and you're now standing ready, and you can actually see the first one coming in close, and you're able to make a move on it.
Let me see my skills here. That is melee, right?
It is melee.
Alright. Well, I'm going to try to go for a stab.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what they're made
so what
for.
else you gonna
Spears
do
are
with
meant
it?
for stickies.
Yeah.
Put the pointy end in the other guy.
Yeah, pointy end goes into the other men. This is going to take a lot of work. Best Zorro that from the I think it was the 90s or early 2000s has the best fighting in terms of fencing that I have seen in years. I forgot how good it was until I rewatched it again. Like, there's so much good fight choreography with the modern day films, but that was damn good fencing. Made me giddy when I saw it.
And then there's Zorro the Gay Blade.
The Gay Blade?
He's just very happy?
Mhm.
I don't know.
It's an excellent movie.
Yeah.
Are you making your melee check there, Hugh?
I am.
Okay.
I check a bunch of stuff before I do that.
Oh, you're totally fine. I'm just making sure.
Oh, well, that didn't work. I'm going to use my my last luck to make that just not a crit fail.
Okay. So, in other words, you got an 11. 11. Or 10. rather.
11.
Still good, but 10 nonetheless. yeah.
11.
All right. So you push forward with it. It's an awkward type of situation for you because you're not used to using older weaponry like this. But it's pretty basic. So you just thrust outward, hoping to get your spot. It manages to basically deflect, using its own weapon to push it aside. Now we actually have Danny to help sort of support on this.
Okay, so
Hugh
we
is
just
now
have the
currently engaged.
There's only one left or two? I think
There
there's
are 3 in
two
total.
left,
They have not been settled
there's
yet.
3.
There were 3 that
Well,
were down the way,
pretty much
1 hurled at
covered.
spear, 2 that were in melee, that were rushing for melee
Okay,
range.
that's what I thought.
That's really good. Is that so wild, man?
Oh, are you looking at the
Yeah.
AI?
It looks really good.
Yeah, it's impressive. Let me see. I got no more bracelets, and it's just pure Danny at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do my dart, my
Nice.
little fireball.
Right. Fire away, sir. Let's see how you do.
That would. Oh.
Oh, you got a crit on a crit. It doesn't know what to do with the second time.
Oh my god!
Oh
Oh,
no!
wow, that's 3 crits
Oh
in a
no!
row.
This is like when we were in Central Park.
Yep. You're feeling the threat.
God damn.
That's still
Okay.
another success.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
4,
That's
5,
So the
6.
the target is 7.
Oh,
Yes.
even more.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes. Oh my.
Dude, you've been doing really good tonight.
Oh my.
Oh my indeed. Let's see what that spell attack is.
Okay. You just want me to do 1 or 6 or what?
Just make 1 spell attack because you're basically focusing. I mean, if you're gonna try and split your
No,
attacks,
just go
sure,
after the
but
one guy.
yeah, that's more than good enough. I have to roll on something here because that's just too good. All right.
It's an
The way
11.
the way that you're kind of like maneuvered, so you guys had hit nearest the wall, you had a wall to your back. Malcolm pushes straight forward because there was an opponent directly adjacent from where you were standing. To your left, you saw the spear get hurled, then 2 others coming into view to attack. What happens is that Hugh is ahead of you and standing somewhat behind where Malcolm is, but moving more towards your left. The 2 entities come in while Hugh is engaged with the one that he was basically attacking. The other one happens to come directly into view when you launch this off, which means that the dart hits the one that was coming in to get Hugh from the side. It looks like they basically disregarded you as a threat entirely for whatever reason.
Oh, that was a mistake.
But because of the fact that he comes into view like that, he lines directly up with the creature that's on the other side that Hugh is engaged with. So you angle it in, that dart hits hard, goes through, and hits the one behind.
Yep. Okay. I like it. So my base power is 11 per hit,
Right, so that means
Like in
66 damage.
and then I don't know if crits change it or not, but yeah. A
Well,
lot.
it changes in the sense that
Yeah.
like the 66 damage is basically like you're getting 2 targets. It's much more flavorful in
Yeah.
that sense, and that's exactly what happens is that you get 2 targets instead of 1.
I love
Because
it.
3 successes is considered a crit. You had double that, so
Yeah.
A double crit?
yeah, he basically had a double crit on this one. So yeah, 2 targets. Their armor only absorbs about 10 of that damage, so you hit both targets with 56 damage. The first one just ends up kind of doing this like crumple thing. You can see smoke coming out from underneath its carapace. It does that like wilt and kind of like crunches over. Hugh, you do this the thrusting stab. There's this strange pointed bolt of like whitish fiery light that comes bursting out of the chest of one that you just happened to notice to your left, and then hits the one that you were fighting against in front of you. And it's basically like a Star Wars blaster at that point. You just kind of like punctured right through the both of them. It stops at the second, but you can see the smoking hole in this thing's chest, and it tries to kind of like get an idea of how to resolve this. Like its brain hasn't registered the fact that this damage has occurred, and it's just kind of stunned for a minute. If you want, you can take this moment to do yet another thrust on the target you're focused on, you. And yeah, the third one is still kind of catching up, but Malcolm's turn is coming next. So
Little coup de Gracie.
yeah.
I mean, 6 successes on a 40-10 is not bad.
That's insane.
Now, while this is happening, what's happening to Max?
Well, we're getting to
I'm
that.
fighting for my life here.
Okay.
Let's see if we can end this. What do we got?
Ah,
What was your defense roll again? Like your result?
I did not make it. I did not make
Okay.
a defense roll.
Again, you're in a position. I'm going to do the same thing that I did for Danny at this point. You're at a point where I would recommend luck if you're going to use it. Your choice.
So, just roll luck as.
Well, you can either spend. Do you have the lucky advantage?
Yes, I do.
Which means if you want to do a reroll, it costs you 2 points of luck. If you want to just bump it once, it costs you 1 point.
Okay, so I should roll my whatever I'm doing and then add
Your
luck to
defense.
it.
Yep. Well, you're going to use luck with
Alright.
it. So just roll your defensive roll, and then you can decide if you want to go, if you want to
Where
explode it or
is
boost it.
Got it. Where is my defensive roll?
Well, if you're using
be
your commando
dodge.
to do it, you're basically deflecting with the spear, and you can use your commando. But in this case, it's going to be melee, because commando doesn't really
Okay.
take into account long spear
Yeah.
or a short spear,
No,
rather.
okay, so we're just doing our mail, but he also has because he's injured, he's got that penalty, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yep. Whatever he has, like an odd number of HP in, that is the penalty you're suffering from.
Let me see. I think mine says -4. So
Right. So you're at a -4 to do your defensive action here.
yeah. So we have a 7
Okay.
for his roll.
Do you wish to
And
add luck?
For yes, I'm thinking we may want to. Now, if I do the re-roll, does he still get the penalty of the -4?
No, the penalty's already been accounted for. So this is just stacked on top, whatever it is.
So I would just roll a D10 and let
Yep.
it be.
Yep. You roll a D10, see what you get.
We're at 10.
Okay. How much more luck do you have?
Luck. He's got 2 more points of luck.
Do you wish to use it?
Throw another die on top of that.
Oh, dude, he has to at this point. I mean, this guy is just like sitting there. He's pissed. He's angry. He just wants to go home. He wants things to be right in Night City. And this little shit messes things up. And he's out of luck. And he's at 15.
Yep.
And he's just trying to get past this.
Well, you take yourself, face your opponent, you fight with your teeth gritted. Do you have pain tolerance? Let me make sure that we're not messing something up.
He's got hard to kill. He's got iron will.
Well, that's why you didn't die. Okay.
Yeah. He's lucky and he's got sinless. But right now,
Okay. No pain tolerance. Okay. So in other words, we're not nullifying any of your pain penalty at this point.
no.
You face
He's
against your
feeling it.
opponent. Yeah, you face against your opponent. You have the spear in hand. It's sitting there with its hands wide, trying to get in there. It moves its shoulder. You anticipate an attack from a specific angle, and it goes the other direction. The feint throws you completely off, and you have this incredible agony that goes through the left side of your body. Let's see here. Yeah. You take another 8 points of damage. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. You got a 15, correct?
I have 12 points of health left.
Yeah,
and I rolled a 15. I rolled a
you feel this, like I said, you feel this immense agony on the left side of your body, and you kind of lose your breath. You're staring at this god-awful grisly creature, and you happen to look down, and you can see partially penetrated with the tips of its fingers into the side of your rib cage as it stares at you. You actually lose your grip on your feet, and you kind of hit ground. It retracts it. You can still feel that pain, but it's distant in your mind. And you can see the bleeding is starting to happen. You can't hold the grip on the spear anymore. You are officially dying.
Oh.
I think he just kind of sits there and he slumps down, and he just looks on this whole thing, and he shakes his head and he looks at the creature, and he's just like, "This just ain't right." and at that moment, he just kind of like leans back against the wall. Like if he had a cigarette, I think he smoked. Like, I wish he just had his cigarette in his hand right now. He would just take his last drag of just like, damn it. But he just sits there and he just looks at it and goes, "That ain't right." And then he sits there and just stares at the creature. Doesn't say anything else. Just leans against the wall, but just glares him down with just pure, like, a mixture of, he snapped. So there's paranoia in there. But mix that with the look of somebody who's intolerant to things that are not right or different, coupled with the fact that he's a fanatic for the right way of doing things. So he's trying to die the right way, which is a fuck you all.
There's apparently a group chat. I didn't mean to put it in the group chat.
I was like, wow, that's a weird place to put that.
I just wanted the individual, but you can still answer the question. Weird how the game grants a wish. It depends on you, though.
Is rubbing salt in that one?
So you got my message, yes, Drew?
No. No, this guy's too. Honestly, I think he's too stubborn to want to even try. Like, his whole life and everything this guy ever believed in was destroyed, and he was just trying to put it back. In everything he did, like he reached the height of his game, and then found out the people he was working with were playing him. They broke his promise. He met these three guys who just, for whatever reason, he couldn't pull the deal off. They trap him somewhere. He rises to the heights, gets yanked out of it. He's done. And I think my character, if I do come back, I'll re-roll a new character with a little bit more diversity. End this dude. End this guy in hey, he's got nothing. He's got no guns. He's got no weapons. He's just sitting there staring at this creature, just going, he's like just shaking his head, just, this ain't right.
Well, it picks up the spear in that case, and, you're just sitting there trying to, like, take one last bloody draw on that cigarette you pulled out. It brings out a swing, and you lose sight of everything. It just goes for a direct cleave like this. Lights out.
Haha! It wasn't me this time. Sorry.
And then it goes X3.
Oh, that would be evil.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So now we have the last one that was visible kind of charging in on us. And we have 4 minutes before the top of the hour here. So we're going to have to hold it at that point. But I mean, like, you guys have managed to take out, like, very successfully and somewhat ironically, these three opponents. The last one now rushing in. We don't have any idea what's happened to Max at this point. But
Just disappeared. There we go.
yep, we don't know what happened to Max, but we will find out what's going on here later on. But yeah, we'll basically hold the sesh there at this point. It'll allow us a week's worth to kind of go through and re-roll Drew. I'm interested to see what he'll
Well,
come up with next.
I'm probably gonna bow out for a while.
Okay.
I kind of came back just because I had time, but Thursday nights are actually now Cub Scout nights, so I do that with the boy.
Well, I was going to say, with level 40, I could have taken Kiss of the Night
right
as a major milestone and turned
no.
Max into a vampire.
Oh my god.
Well, that would have
think
worked
Max
probably
would
if he wasn't
hate you.
headless. But an
No,
interesting
Max-
thought.
ain't right.
I'm gonna tell you.
I don't
he
need to
was
have
a
Max
really-
smart as a freaking vampire. That would be.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna tell you, he was a really difficult character to play.
Yeah.
He had just too much baggage that kept him. I always thought just from him developing and ever liking the group, I was like, this is a guy that doesn't like what they're doing, and he's with the group who's doing the very thing he doesn't like, and it was his intolerance that I was like, crap, I gotta play this guy's intolerance, and so he just hates you guys.
I mean,
And so
you played you played the disadvantages perfectly. So
You did play the disadvantages. You played your character directly as it was itself, but as with anything else, there's always a risk. But again, oddly enough, that you're like, I wonder if there's a way I can kill this character off. And like having that discussion, and just wound up being the number of crits I rolled against him was stupid. The dice kept rolling 24s. That was the threshold you had to beat.
hey,
And they only have a 12, so they kept rolling 10-2, 10-2. It kept happening.
wow. Well, this guy, I mean, I'm glad he got to use some of his skills. It was too late.
I mean, if you're gonna go out, you kind of went like a boss. I'm gonna definitely say that much.
I don't know. I think he more like snapped and just ran away and did one of the most dangerous things to do. Was he left the group
With the party.
and yeah, he left the party. It didn't happen. It didn't go for him. So
Yeah, I mean, like
But
sticking
thank
in
you,
a group
guys.
is definitely beneficial.
stay in
Incoherency.
Anyway,
well, you're lucky because I kept rolling the dice you have here, and I kept rolling to see if I'd reach a threshold where he would actually try and kill Danny. Just like, okay, he's just gonna take this guy out because, like, Scott, I love how you play that guy. Like, you play him as the little teenager who doesn't like. I don't care the consequences. Daddy has money. Like, who the hell are you?
He does do well with it, that is for sure.
You guys all
Okay.
play your character. I mean, that's the beauty of this game.
Well, just give me a heads up if you decide you're gonna bounce back in, or if your days open up, or whatever else like that, because I know that none of us have an issue with you jumping back in. At least I think so.
Absolutely, and
Or just show up
I'll-
at random a year from now.
Right. I've stopped trying to do the whole like it's in a pretty frame and then going like getting Picasso every time something changes. Screw it.
nah, you know what though? But that being able to swing with those punches and move that is what makes you just a very talented master of the game, as well as just the flexibility of this game that it works. But now you guys
I just love
have
winning.
to answer for the death of a key witness against you. So good luck with that one.
Yes.
look good.
It kind of looks bad sort of all the way around, no matter what you try to say. Legendary. Thank you very much, Ken,
Yeah.
once again for giving us a legendary encounter. Holy crap.
I am just pleased.
Good purchase. All right. Well, I mean, to all that were watching, thank you so much for being here. We will catch you again on next Thursday for more Shadows, and we will see about what happens next. Till that end, take it easy.